Hello everyone, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. We have a pretty good pack to start. I think we're taking the Bribery. This card is really good. It can just win the game on its own. One could argue that it's poorly designed for this format because it incentivizes your opponent to not do sweet things, and you want to be doing sweet things in this format, but it is very powerful, so we'll be taking that. Uro can be good in the right deck. I don't think it's a great card to first pick because you do need a lot of cards that fill out the graveyard. And it's not very good in a base green deck, but it can be very powerful when you have good enablers. There's High Tide, so if you're a madman, you could do that. Kytheon is good, but yeah, let's take the Bribery. This card is very strong. Ooh, well, there's a Time Twister. We could have gone High Tide into Time Twister, but instead we're going Bribery into Muldrifter, and I think that's a better plan. Other than the Muldrifter, there is like Eternal Witness and Noble Hierarch are both pretty good green cards. Wrath of God is good if we want to do blue-white. Hero's Downfall is good in blue-black, and then Metamorph is just a solid card. But I like Muldrifter a lot. It's good card draw. Even if you don't have synergies with it, it's pretty good. And then if you end up playing like blue-white Blink with Restoration Angel, it's really good. Or, it's really good with Recurring Nightmare and a Reanimator Shell. Actually, this is a card I probably should have mentioned. Recurring Nightmare is the best card in the pack, other than maybe Time Twister, but it requires a decent amount of setup, and it doesn't particularly combo with Bribery, so we're not going to go with that here. Okay, here we have a few good cards. There's a Overgrown Tomb, which is a solid land. Renin 6 is very strong, although not particularly synergistic with what we have right now. Chromox is good acceleration, especially if you have card draw like Muldrifter. Through the Breach is good in combo. Skyclave Apparition is good in mid-range, but I think we just want to stay blue and take Control Magic. As good as some of these non-blue cards are, I don't think anything is strong enough that it really makes us want to deviate from the blue plan. We'll continue to wait and see what's open. And Control Magic is very strong in a lot of matchups. Okay. There are a few interesting options here. We could just take the Pestermite. Getting a 4th big Pestermite is a sign that Twin may be open. And when Twin is open, it is a very good deck. Craterhoof Behemoth is extremely strong, but it doesn't go at all with what we have right now. If we were going to take a green card, I think it would be Primeval Titan, which is quite strong. But I think I like speculating on the Pestermite here. Yeah, let's go with that. There's also like Golgari Signet and Academy Ruins if we wanted to try and pivot to blue artifacts, but I think I'd rather speculate on the Twin here. And now we can take a Memory Deluge, which is great. Very good in combo, and also just good as a value card. Suspicious Stowaway is reasonable, and Cruel Signet would be decent mana as well, but yeah, we'll take the Memory Deluge. And I think we're just going to stay blue for now. I mean, we could take Lumbering Falls, we could take like Oblivion Stone, but I think Shark Typhoon is very strong and fits well with what we're doing. Black, green, honestly, it's hard to say what is open here. There's 2 red cards, 2 green cards, 2 black cards, 1 white card. Yeah, we'll take the Shark, though, and continue to observe. The best thing would be to get a late Splinter Twin here. No Splinter Twin, but there is an Entomb. Also, Thirst for Knowledge and Orzhov's Signet. I don't think Thirst for Knowledge is great. I'm kind of like the look of this Entomb. We could also take Sacred Foundry, which could set up for a nice Jeskai mana base. But this is a very late Entomb. I think we're going to pick up on the signal and potentially look at going into blue-black Reanimator. Now we can take Shallow Grave or Shriekmaw. I think I'm taking Shriekmaw here. Shallow Grave is the sort of card that's better in an all-in Reanimator deck than a value Reanimator deck, and this is looking more like a value deck. And Shriekmaw is great there. I really like having Muldrifter and Shriekmaw in these sorts of value decks because they're, you can just play them as decent spells and then bring them back later in the game for value. Okay, now we can take a Bone Shredder, another good value creature. Tasker is fine. Seagate Stormcaller can be good in the right deck, but let's take the Shredder. So it's looking like we'll just be blue-black and probably cut this Pestermite. I don't think Twin is particularly open, or like we just don't have the pieces for it right now, and I don't want to have to warp the draft around that. We don't have much in the way of counter magic. We have good ways to deal with creatures, and we have good card draw. But I would like some counter magic, I would like some discard, and then we'll see. We don't need to play this in Tomb. Bone Shredder and Shriekmaw are very good in a blue-black mid-range deck. But if black is really open, or if Reanimator is open, that would be sweet. This would be a great Recurring Nightmare deck. Muldrifter, Shriekmaw, and Bone Shredder are all hard castable cards that are great with Recurring Nightmare. It's worth noting that both of these only hit non-black, non-artifact creatures, so we could struggle a bit against black and artifact decks, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll take Recurring Nightmare. That's pretty sweet. So creatures are going to go up in our pick order a little bit. We already have 3 very good ones with it. I wouldn't mind other value creatures, Venser, Vendilion Click, stuff like that. Right now, this is looking like it's more of a mid-range value deck than an all-in Reanimator deck. So, like, for example, we probably wouldn't play Dark Ritual at the moment, whereas I do think it's a very good card in some builds of Black Reanimator. Okay, well, there's a Putrid Imp if we want to go heavier on the Reanimator plan. I think that is the pick. These cards are all only okay. Talvar's Huntmaster is good with the Recurring Nightmare, but I think I'd rather take the Enabler. All right, we'll take the other Enabler. So black is clearly very, very open. Blue-black is a really good archetype to end up in here. I guess it's theoretically possible we could go mono-black if we just continue to get black cards and don't get any fixing. I think I like Fatal Push over the Bitter Blossom. Oh, actually, no. We have 3 removal spells already. We'll take Bitter Blossom. Then last pick, a black land. So black is definitely open. Someone did take the Shallow Grave, but I don't care too much about that. Ooh, well, actually there's a lot of really good stuff here. I think we do take the Mox, but I would love Fallen Shinobi, I would love Toxic Deluge, I would love Preordain, and I would love Treachery. Still though, a Mox is a Mox. We're going to be going to this here. There's a chance Fallen Shinobi comes around because black is so open. Otherwise, I would be shocked if Toxic Deluge didn't come around, so that's not a bad backup plan. Ooh, nice. Underground Sea. Also Prismatic Vista, Infernal Grasp, Gaunty, Mirror Battlesphere, but I think we want to go with the Sea here. Again, mono black is possible, but I would like to be able to splash blue if we can, because these blue cards are very strong, and they complement the deck's weakness right now, which is card draw. We have pretty good interaction, but we don't have ways to go up on cards, and Muldrifter, Memory Deluge, and Shark Typhoon all do that very well. Baleful Strix would be very good in this deck. This also could be the rare, I forget what it's called. There's that 2-mana blue-black gold card that you can pay blue-blue, black-black, and one other, and like exile a card from your graveyard to make it a copy of that. That would be pretty sweet here. Okay, Dig Through Time, Reanimate, Deceiver Exarch, Liliana. I think we just take Reanimate here. Yeah, this card seems pretty good. We don't have Reanimator targets at the moment, but it's not bad if you just go, turn 2, Shriekmaw your dude, turn 3, Reanimate your Shriekmaw to kill another creature and get a good body onto the board. And then if we do end up with a little bit more of an actual Reanimator plan, we could bring back a Grave Titan on turn 2 or something. Okay. Here we have Ophiomancer and Wormcoil Engine. Bazaar of Baghdad is a little too deep. I don't think we need that here. Duretti is great, but the mana would be dicey. I guess we do have 2 free red sources, but I think Wormcoil Engine is the pick here. It's great with Recurring Nightmare. It's great against aggressive decks. Yeah, let's take the Wormcoil. And then probably end up wheeling Bazaar. Whoa. Wait. Our whole curve just got very messed up somehow. All right, now we'll take Consecrated Sphinx. Great pickup. This is another one of these cards like Wormcoil that's very hard castable, but also a great Reanimator target, especially in the early game. Murderous Rider is the second card we would take from here, so hopefully that comes around. And I think there's a good chance it does because of how open black is. But we will see. We'll be starting with the Sphinx. Valky, Dark Ritual. Valky is decent as a value play because we could cast it on the other half, and it's not terrible as just a 2-mana creature. There's Trinket Mage, which can find only Mox Ruby right now, and then Dark Ritual will be good in some worlds where we get more reanimation stuff. Actually, maybe Dark Ritual is just good because it's not even that bad to just play turn 4 Consecrated Sphinx. Yeah, we'll take the Dark Ritual here. Maybe Valky comes around. Cabal Ritual, I don't know if we need to go that deep. There's Iona, but I mean, Iona is really good sometimes. I kind of want to just take the Treasure Cruise, though. We have good ways to fill the graveyard. Yeah, let's take the Treasure Cruise. There's a world where we regret this if we don't get enough reanimation targets, but I think we will. Now we can take Inquisition of Kozilek. That is pretty great. Our curve is sort of funny here. All of our cheap cards are black, and all of our expensive cards are blue. Honestly, I would sort of prefer it to be the other way, because if all your cheap cards are blue, then that'll include some cantrips, which can help you fix mana. Whereas none of these black cards help us with mana at all. Nice! Fallen Shinobi does come around. There's also LED, Yogwell in the same pack, but we will not be taking that. Alright, now we can take Gonti. Not bad. There's also Infernal Grasp, but we want to be doing value creature plays. Okay, yeah, this is looking really good. Reanimate and Recurring Nightmare are both totally fine in this sort of deck, just as value plays, even if you're not going all in on them. Ophiomancer or Bazaar? I'm going to take the Bazaar in case we get Grizzlebrand and like 2 more reanimation spells. It's not good yet. And Ophiomancer will be good in some matchups, but I think the matchups where Ophiomancer are good are already going to be somewhat favorable for us. Nice. Get the Murderous Rider. Black is ridiculously open. We already have 24 playable spells. If we got Yorion, I might go for 60-card Yorion, because Yorion is good value with a lot of these creatures that we're already incentivized to play because of their Recurring Nightmare. Great with Chupacabra, Gonti, Moldrifter, Bone Shredder, Shriekmaw. All right, we'll take Valky and last pick Iona. All right. We're going to be making a lot of cuts here. Wow. What a pack. There's 2 Lilianas that are both good and Strip Mine, but I think we just take the Bloodstained Mire here. We have so many spells already, and I really do want to solidify the mana base. I think there's a good chance both of those Lilianas come around, and there's a 100% chance that at least one of them will. Okay. Interesting pick. There's Spellseeker, which can find Reanimate, Entomb, Dark Ritual, Inquisition. It cannot find Treasure Cruise. There's Ancestral. There is Emrakul, Jite. I kind of want to take Jite, actually. We have a lot of creatures to support it. Okay, but let's look at what we're cutting here, because we're going to have to make a lot of cuts. Man, this is tough. Spellseeker is pretty strong. We're probably not main decking Putrid Imp or Una's Prowler or Dark Ritual. Let's take the Jite. This card is extremely powerful in a lot of matchups. Now, Corpse Dance, that's not really what we want. I kind of think I would prefer Snapcaster Mage. Although even Snapcaster's not great. Regisaur is fine. I'm actually going to take Brain Freeze for the board because I think Storm could be a tough matchup. And I think we're really not getting that much from these other cards. Yeah. Hymn to Torok, that's a good card. Also Pack Rat, but I think Hymn to Torok is better. Alright, I don't think we can pass Dark Slick Shores here. Opposition Agent could be good in some matchups, but some nice fixing is pretty good. This deck looks sweet, just as like a blue-black value deck. Is Entomb still worth it? With only 2 reanimation spells. I guess we can Entomb for Memory Deluge. So that seems solid. Okay, there's Ludovic Necrogenius. This is the card I was talking about, the 2-mana one, but I think we just take Grave Titan here. This is a really good piece of top end, and now we have 3 6-drops that are all hard castable, but also great value plays to reanimate. All right, I think Valky is cuttable. Bitter Blossom can move to the board for control matchups. I do want to play all the rest of these cards pretty badly. We could cut some of this top end, potentially. Well, right now we would just play 17 lands here. Oh, well, the 2 best reanimation targets. It's probably got to be Grizzlebrand. Yeah, I'll take the Grizzlebrand. And now we'll move Wormcoil to the board and bring it in matchups where it's good. Maybe we should be playing Dark Ritual because we are pretty slow. Ooh, well, Baleful Strix is a perfect pickup. Very, very happy to see that. So we need to, again, make one more cut. Maybe Shark Typhoon. It's a little bit slow. It's very, very good against control, but it's not great against decks that are playing to the board a lot because it is a little bit inefficient. I think I do still want to be playing all this blue card draw, though. That really complements the black interaction very well. Nice. Both Lilianas do come around. We will take the Veil. She's just a better card overall in most matchups unless your opponent has a lot of 1-toughness creatures and it's a better enabler for our combo. One cut now. We could also play 16 lands with Mox Ruby, but we have a relatively high curve. Okay, I think we take Massacre Worm for the board here. That'll be a really good card to bring in against a lot of decks. Entomb for Memory Deluge or for a fatty seems good. I like having all the value creatures. Bribery is uncuttable. Liliana Death's Majesty is a little expensive, but I think worth it. We could cut Treasure Cruise, but I think we'll fill our graveyard very quickly. We could cut Jite. I guess that's the move, actually. We'll cut Jite and then bring it in against decks with creatures. Okay. Rotting Regisaur is a pretty good sideboard card. For a match, like if against mono red, it just has a huge booty. It can block their creatures really well. No playable cards for us here. Or here. Ooh. I kind of do want to play this card just to try it out. Yeah, I'm going to play this card. We'll see. It's possible that that's just terrible, but I think this card could actually be pretty strong here. So we need to make one more cut. I think I'll cut Control Magic and then bring it in matchups where it's good. So if we did this, that would be 8 blue sources and 12 black. That seems pretty solid. Yeah, just run it like this. And we have a great sideboard. Blue and black are open. We can bring in Control Magic against green, Shark Typhoon against control, Brain Freeze against storm, Massacre Worm and Rotting Regisaur against small creatures, Bitter Blossom against control, Dark Ritual when we're on the draw, GT against creatures, Wormcoil against aggro, Bazaar if we're bringing in, well actually, is Bazaar just good? No, this card's not good for our main deck. We need like one more reanimation spell to make this good. It's very good if it's enabling a quick Grizzlebrand or Consecrated Sphinx, but I just don't think we have enough reanimation spells to do that. Or tutors. If we had Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, stuff like that, then it would become better, but we do not. So let's just run it like this. And this is a really sweet blue-black value reanimator deck. This is like the one Ludovic Necrogenius deck. This is not good in control, and it's not good in all-in combo, but it could be good in a mid-range value shell. And that is what we're playing. This is such an expensive ability, though. You have to pay 5 to do that. The reason that I'm playing this is because it fills our graveyard, which gives us value in multiple ways. It's good with Treasure Cruise. It's good if you mill over a Memory Deluge, and then it can find your huge dudes to bring back with Entomb or with Recurring Nightmare, or the Ludovic if we get enough mana. I can imagine this card being pretty sweet in Commander. Good build around. If we were playing Dark Ritual, this deck would have the potential to go turn 1, Swamp, Dark Ritual, Inquisition of Kozilek to clear the path, Entomb, Grizzlebrand, Reanimate, which would obviously be pretty powerful. We're not playing Dark Ritual in the main deck, so now our best draw is just like... I mean, I guess it's still turn 1 Entomb, turn 2 Reanimate, which is good. It's not as explosive as doing it on turn 1, of course. This Mox Ruby is not as good as I would like it to be. It doesn't help us cast any of our cheap spells. But it does help us just cast like Grave Titan or Consecrated Sphinx a turn early. It's still worth playing. Oh, I guess I should also mention that Iona is a passable sideboard card in some matchups. I mean, well, there's some matchups where it's a completely game-winning card the minute it hits the battlefield. But this isn't the best deck at making it hit the battlefield. All right, we have an opponent. On the play here. That's pretty sweet. And yeah, this end is great. We'll keep it. We don't have double black for the Chupacabra yet, but hopefully we can find that off of the Mole Drifter. I think I'm actually leading on Swamp here. We do have Hymn to Torok in the deck. I don't think it actually here it matters. Yeah, it doesn't really matter either way. But in general, if you have cards like, if you have Hymn to Torok, you want to lead on a Swamp, even if you don't have it in your hand. If you have Counterspell, you want to lead on an island. Okay, Darkslick Shores, Mox Ruby, Evoke Mole Drifter. Oof. Well, we're flooding a bit here. Really hope this is a creature. Grist. That sucks. Think we need to get this. Yeah, it's not good, but I'm just going to get this Chupacabra down to start pressuring a Grist. Ravages of War. Not what I was expecting to see from the Island Hissing Quagmire deck. Okay, so we'll hardcast Shriekmaw to kill this and then attack the Grist for 2. Ooh. I actually still think we're going with the Shriekmaw play, though. There's a good chance that Grist will just totally destroy our bribery target, and I do want to lower Grist's loyalty. We wouldn't be able to attack if we played bribery. Opponent is debating whether or not to chump block here. I don't think they should. This token is black and green, right? So it can block Shriekmaw. Yep, it's black and green. Mystical Tutor in their upkeep. Interesting. They could just be getting Channel and kill us. Balance. Very strange deck from the opponent. Demonic Tutor for Plains, play Balance. That's pretty bad for us. So I'll keep the 2 spells here, but then we lose all our creatures and they get to Grist it up. We need to find something good off this bribery. Reanimate. Interesting. Doesn't help. Well, we actually... Yeah, I'm going to reanimate the Mole Drifter and try to draw a land. If we don't draw a land in the top 2, that's awkward. We can still play Treasure Cruise. Okay, good. Yeah, now if they minus the Grist, we can still pressure it pretty well with the Mole Drifter. Oh, wow. Their deck is very, very greedy. They're playing Wrenn and 6, Oko, and Balance all in the same deck. Also, what the hell are they doing with Ravages of War? This looks like one of the worst Ravages of War decks I've ever seen. They're playing Narset and Leovold with Time Twister. That's a good combo. Yeah, very, very strange deck for the opponent. And Bribery is unplayable against them. We will take the Leovold, though. And pass turn. So they sacrifice the insect to kill the Leovold. We do get to draw a card. And this Treasure Cruise is looking pretty good. Gonti's also pretty good. Regrowth Leovold, all right. That does shut down the treasure cruise. If we Gaunty them, they get to draw a card, which is a little bit annoying. But I think we do need to do it here. So we'll attack their Grist and then play Gaunty. Obviously, we're not going to play Treasure Cruise here. That would not be particularly effective. They draw their card, but then we get to take a card from them. Oko would be the best case scenario. Although they could Grist it down, I guess. All right, we'll take Garrick. Not bad. It can make some bodies. We'll pass turn. Four mana. What is this? Oh, Green Suns for 3 to get... What do they even get here? They have so few... Green Suns even... Oh, yeah, Ramanep. Okay, sure. And the Pilgrim, all right. Ludovic. That's pretty bad here. Let's attack the Gaunty or the Grist with both. Grist goes to 1. We'll play this. That would have been a really good draw. I don't think we're using that this turn, so let's just go land Garrick and make a beast. Pass turn. If we can kill the Leovold, we'll be in good shape. The problem is that Ludovic doesn't enter the battlefield. Our opponent's deck is very strange. So we can just kill the Grist here. That was a great draw. So we'll start by attacking the Grist for 2 and them for 3. All right, now we'll Swift End the Leovold. This means we can play Treasure Cruise, and it makes their draw 7 significantly less scary. Do we want to just delve away everything? I don't think so. I'm going to leave Fallen Shinobi in the graveyard, and maybe Revenant Chupacabra too. Yeah, let's do it like this. All right, we can create another beast. I think I'm just going to fetch a land out of the deck. And then cast this. And now we're in pretty good shape. We're ahead on board by a lot. We have Consecrated Sphinx in hand. Yeah, this seems very good for us. And our opponent's deck just doesn't have anything that can really happen here. Like, their entire plan is, like, kill our lands plus play Crucible or play Leovold plus a draw 7, which are both decently powerful, but they're not good at all when you're behind on board. Okay. What changes do we want to make, if any? Grist is a bit of an issue. Control Magic is not good against Grist, but Shark Typhoon is pretty good. Let's cut Ludovic, bring in Shark Typhoon, and Treasure Cruise is bad. I guess, yeah, honestly, Grizzlebrand's even not... Well, no, Grizzlebrand's probably good, but Treasure Cruise is pretty bad against all their stuff against Leovold and Narset. So we could cut that and bring in Wormcoil Engine, Massacre Worm, Land. Oh, Bribery is terrible. We want to cut Bribery for sure. Let's bring in Wormcoil and I think Valky. And then make this exchange. Yeah, we'll run it like that. Oh, maybe I should have cut some of the removal spells. I guess they're good against... Well, they're good against some things. They're probably fine. All right, great hand. Turn 2, Hymn to Torok. Turn 3, Memory Deluge. Turn 4, Liliana. Still playing Hymn to Torok on turn 2 rather than Mold Drifter. right? Discard 2 at random. No reason to play around Daze. They don't have an island. Okay, we hit Time Twister and Signet. Pretty good hits there. I don't think we need to play Memory or Mox Ruby here. The only reason to do it would be if we're worried about them playing a draw 7. But just running it out there means they could turn it into an Elk with Oko or something if they want to. There's just no reason to give them that option. All right, we'll hold up Memory Deluge and pass turn. Mox Diamond, all right. They just play Mox Diamond and then pass. Weird. If they counter this, we're very happy. Committed. Okay, that's actually better than some other counter spells, but this is still fine. I think we just want to play Liliana here. They can flashback this if they draw a land, so I want to just add as much to the board as possible. This is going to put the Memory Deluge into our graveyard, which is actually great. That's a card that has a lot of value in the graveyard. And so if they play a draw 7, then we're basically at parity, but where we have a Planeswalker on the board, so that's good for us. Green Suns for 3 to get Grist. Or leave old. Okay, that's not a problem. We can just kill it with the Chupacabra. Yeah, let's just we'll go land. Chupacabra. They do get to draw a card, but that's fine. Make a dude. And hit for 2. This is a very good situation. Next turn, I honestly might just evoke Mole Drifter and then minus Liliana to bring it back. Although it looks like they're playing their draw 7. This is why we didn't play Mole Drifter earlier. It wouldn't accomplish that much if we know that they're going to just reshuffle our hand soon anyways. Good hand. So we can go Inquisition into Wormcoil, and that seems pretty strong. Let's see, Demonic Tutor versus Narset. I don't think I care about the Narset here. Even if they top deck Time Twister, that's still just not that good. So let's take their Tutor. Then go Island, Wormcoil Engine. Bash for 6, and now they're just dead on board. They can play Narset into something, maybe, but I think they're just dead. I like some of the combos in my opponent's deck, but I think they're trying to do a little bit too much. They do have a lot of redundant pieces, I guess. 2 draw 7s and 2 things that shut down card draw. 2 things that kill lands with Balance and Ravages of War, plus 2 things that that let them play lands from their graveyard. Alright, so I think that's just game. We don't need to play anything from our hand. We can just bring back Bone Shredder to kill their beast and then kill them. Alright, pretty smooth round 1. Again, unclear to me exactly how much that is because our deck is sweet versus our opponent's deck was a little scattered, but pretty sweet start nonetheless. Hopefully we can keep it going. We are right here just south of the leaderboard. We're literally 1 person too low because this person got a trophy like an hour after us. Hopefully we can leapfrog them and get up to player 002 here. Also sort of fun to see LSV up here. I would like to pass LSV if possible, but it's always good to be around him. He's a great player for sure. There was a while where Team J Bro was pretty much doubling everyone else in terms of trophies. I don't know if he's slowed down. I guess he probably has slowed down, and then other people have also sped up. All right, on the play here. Whoa, we rolled 2 6s in a row. That's a good sign. We're playing against Sia Boy, and we are on the draw. No blue mana. I think this is still a keep, but it's a little bit sketchy. I'm just going to unless they play Swamp, I'm going to Entomb for Grizzlebrand on turn 1 because I really don't want to draw it, and it means if we top deck Reanimate, we're golden. Okay, they still could be playing blue, like Reanimator with black in it, but I think it's still worth it to play the Entomb here. Ancestral is very good against Liliana of the Veil. Consecrated Sphinx was probably the worst draw on the deck. Actually, certainly. I mean, any land would have been better. Any cheap spell would have been better. The only spell that's as expensive as that is Grave Titan, which is easier to cast, so pretty solid. We drew literally the worst possible card out of 32. Now the worst card would just be Grave Titan, I guess, so hopefully we can keep that streak alive. Hangerback Walker. Another card that's good against Liliana. Unfortunate. Alright, we'll just play Swamp, Liliana, and plus discarding Memory Deluge. We can't Edict here, then they would just sacrifice this and get a 1-1. So Liliana is looking really, really bad in this game. Not necessarily bad in the matchup, but bad against their specific draw. No land from the... Oh, no. They might have a land. They attack Liliana, so they're not leveling it up. Skull Clamp. Jeez, this is not looking good at all. So they draw 2 cards, make a dude. If they have a land in those, they can draw 2 more cards. We need to find basically Reanimate. I think we're not going to be able to win if we don't. Yeah, just a casual draw 4 completely annihilates Liliana. Alright, another bad draw. We will plus, discarding Consecrated Sphinx. And pass turn. Wow, they discarded Gideon. That would have been good here. That probably means they don't have... yeah, I think they just don't have lands. Or they might have lands, but not that many. Maybe they don't have another plains or something. This seems like a tough matchup, though. They can draw a lot of cards. Come on. I'm just going to concede here. Well... No, that's a little preemptive. I really want them to take literally any of these cards, though. They're all horrible here. I would absolutely be ecstatic if they took any of our cards. We have decent fixing. We have 3 duels. But not this game. Oh! They did it! Alright, let's bring back Grizzlebrand. We can play this through Spell Pierce, and then we'll definitely draw lands off of these 7. Now we go... Land. Make you sacrifice your Vendilion Click. And him to Torok you. Teferi and Gideon, okay. We'll go to discard and pitch. These cards are honestly all good. I'm going to get greedy and discard an island. Actually, that's probably not that greedy. Now, they probably have an answer to this Grizzlebrand. We just need to hope it's not Fractured Identity. If they go like land, Day of Judgment, that's fine. The thing is that we drew 7, but that's not even real. Like, they drew 4 off the Skull Clamp, and they drew 3 off the Ancestral Vision. So right there, they already made it all up. With that being said, I do really like that our heroes, or our Hymn to Torok hit 2 Planeswalkers. And even though we missed the land drop, we're not that far behind on mana. Wait, what happened to our Mox? Oh, they took our Mox Ruby, is what they took. Okay, sure. Everflowing Chalice, that is a weak play. And then Revoker to shut down Liliana or Grizzlebrand. Either way, we don't care because we can kill it with Chupacabra. They don't clamp it. So let's just go land. Ravenous Chupacabra. We can play this through Mana Tithe or Daze. Kill that, and then we'll plus Lily. And discard... I think Island. And then we'll attack for 7, and we're not going to pay life. Alright, sweet. We won despite the fact... Wow, yeah, that was crazy. I think our opponent wins that game pretty easily if they don't take our Mox Ruby there. And also, we got pretty lucky to top deck Reanimate. That was the only card in our deck that would have done that there. Recurring Nightmare would not have done it. So this will be a pretty tough matchup, but we're able to steal game 1. So it's blue-white, Super Friend, Artifacts. Skull Clamp looks a little weird in their deck. They're probably playing Elspeth, though. Maybe both Elspeths. So what changes do we want to make? Bitter Blossom seems pretty good against control. And so does Shark Typhoon. Ludwig's probably not that great. Bribery. I don't think I love Bribery. It's bad against bounce spells, and we haven't seen any creatures that it's particularly great against. Do we want to make any other changes? I don't think Wormcoil is good. I don't think GT is good. Don't want Valky. I don't think we need Dark Ritual. Yeah, let's just run it like this. Actually, it's possible we should be playing... We should have cut either Bone Shredder or Shriekmaw. Okay, well, this hand has Entomb Reanimate. This opponent probably thinks we're way heavier on reanimation stuff than we are. But this is a great hand. We'll definitely keep it. There's some argument to getting Grave Titan here. Oh, this is a fan. That's awesome to see. Alright, we will keep the sand and hope they don't have a counterspell. Basic Plains and Skull Clamp. Alright, we can outdraw that with Grizzlebrand if we want to go that route. Island was a decent draw. Now the thing we really want is a Mox Ruby. Your back Walker, okay. I think against this we do want to get Grizzlebrand because we need to, like, they could probably just have like a Swords to Plowshares and then grind through the tokens from a Grave Titan. So let's just got the Grizzle. So what are the pros and cons of drawing cards immediately? We're going to go down to 5 cards. I guess we could draw Inquisition of Kozilek. We could draw Mox Ruby. We could draw... That's mostly it. Yeah, it's really just those two. I don't think that's that likely to matter. So I think we're just going to go Swamp, Reanimate, Pass. Because I don't really want to discard, it puts us up 2 cards and does give us some card selection, but that's not nearly as powerful as just putting us actually up cards. If they kill the Grizzlebrand, then in response we will draw 7. And then we'll have a really fresh hand for our next turn where we can hopefully make some more powerful plays. Skullclamp the Hangerback Walker. So they must not have an answer yet. They're trying to draw towards it, but our card draw is obviously more powerful. I mean, Skullclamp is some of the best card draw ever, honestly. I think Skullclamp can easily outpace Library of Alexandria, Ancestral Recall, Teferi. This is very, very powerful card draw. The only thing that can outpace the Skullclamp is Grizzlebrand. Okay, we need to draw in response because they can shut down the Grizzlebrand. And then hopefully we can find... Okay, nice. We found the Mox. So we can play Island, Mox, Chupacabra this. I actually will attack first, though. And if they chump block with a Thopter token, we can play Lily on it and make them sacrifice. Inquisition of Kozilek, great draw. So if I think if we hadn't drawn that, we would probably still just play the Chupacabra for mana efficiency. But given that we drew that, I would happily go Inquisition into Lily on it if they chump block. Okay, they do. I'm not saying that's a bad block necessarily. I don't know their hand, but it works out well for us here. Let's play this first player on days, I guess. Well, we could just take out their days, but still. Actually, no, I will just play Inquisition first, because they might have Force of Negation that we could clear out. Okay, no counter magic. We could take Sun Gold Sentinel. Yeah, let's take the Sun Gold Sentinel and then just start attacking their resources pretty heavily. In fact, do we just plus with Liliana? Yeah, let's do that. I don't really care about the Grizzlebrand ability anymore. It got its good value already. We'll discard Swamp. And then discard Bloodstained Mire to hand size. Oh, actually, maybe we were supposed to just edict them because they can't equip the Skullclamp to draw 2. Like hit Liliana for 2, then draw 2 off the Skullclamp. Alright, they probably wanted to attack first there. I don't think that'll matter too. Like, I think we were probably going to win either way, but that probably would have been better. They pass. Treasure Cruise, alright. Let's plus this, discarding Swamp. Then I think we just hardcast Fallen Shinobi. Yeah, that seems reasonable. They discard a Plains. We'll swing. And we could draw 7, but that doesn't really accomplish much. It's not like we have a play that would be way better than this. Like, I guess I would rather play the other Liliana here, but I think it's fine to just have a high life total, and then we'll draw cards when we need to if we don't have another good play to make. So they're not quite dead on board, but they're close. Recurring Nightmare was a very strong draw. I guess they could have something like Solitude. Let's start by attacking. All right. I mean, yeah, we're pretty far ahead here. We'll play Gideon, play their island, which is actually like a surprisingly good draw. We'll plus to discard Memory Deluge. Draw some cards. Then hardcast Grave Titan. Yeah, I think that's the play here. Now they can't play Consecrated Sphinx or Wormcoil. They have to sweep our board this turn. But even if they do, we have Gideon staring them down. So we'll plus and pass. Well, this deck is running very well. I knew it was pretty good, but I'm a little surprised we haven't dropped a game yet. Moldrifter Evoke. I don't think that's quite going to get the job done, my friend. All right. Cool deck, see you, boy. Good match. Best of luck in the rest of the league. And hopefully we can secure this trophy. We're yet to drop a game. I would be fine with winning 2-1, but hopefully it can be 2-0 again. We will see. Again, we did draw very well in that match. We had Entomb Reanimate both games. And conditional on having Grizzlebrand in play, our deck doesn't use Grizzlebrand as well as some decks. The best decks are sort of the all-in black Reanimator decks that are playing Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, a bunch of discard spells, stuff like that, where you can just really, like, if you draw 7 cards off of Grizzlebrand and then draw, like, Treasure Cruise, Memory Deluge, Mole Drifter, and Gonti, you get a lot of value there, I guess, but you don't have ways to really pressure your opponent's resources or their life total. So that could be an issue if we're playing against something like Storm, which is why we have this nice sideboard Brain Freeze. I really wish this deck had Thoughtseize. That would go a long way. I also would love to have one more reanimation spell like Animate Dead. All right, on the play here against PTD Bond. Yuck. No blue mana. This hand becomes very good if we draw 1 blue source. Like, it's almost perfect if we have a blue source in the top card. But we only have 8 sources in the deck, and this hand is very bad if we don't have it. I think we need to ship it, unfortunately. Okay, this hand's better. We have all our colors. We're going to put Grizzlebrand on the bottom and hope we're playing against a creature deck, I guess. Really hope we're playing against a creature deck. Ouch. I don't think it's worth it to just jam Bone Shredder. But this is really going poorly. I am just going to jam Chupacabra as bad as this is because it sets up Fallen Shinobi. If Bone Shredder set up Fallen Shinobi, I would do that. Oh, well, looks like we might just die here. Did they just have the actual Mountain Splinter Twin? All right, well, that was not much of a game. And this is a tough matchup. All our removal is sorcery speed. Do we have any ways to attack that? Not really. Valky looks at their hand. Oh, GTA is actually pretty solid here. What do we not want? Probably just Ludovic again. Yeah, we'll run it like this. All right, turn 2 into Torok is good. Not having a turn 3 play is unfortunate. The 2-drop and then triple 4-drop with no 3s is pretty bad. Hopefully we can draw a spell we can cast on turn 3 in our first couple draw steps. And even if we don't, as long as we draw any land, then playing these 4-drops will be pretty solid as well. Also, we don't know exactly how many combo pieces they have, but I think a turn 4 twin kill is pretty unlikely it actually just has to be unlikely. There's only 1 copy of Splinter Twin in the format. But it is awkward that we were holding 3 removal spells and none of them helped us there. Obviously, anytime you can have it's always better for a spell to be sorcerer speed than instant speed. That's not a hot take at all. But it's much, much more important against Twin than almost any other deck. Yeah, I guess Chupacabra, if they play Goblin Guy, they get in for 2 before you can kill it or something. But the only cards that really make a difference are cards that they can play where there's no window to remove them at sorcery speed, and then you just lose if you don't remove them immediately. Which is pretty much only true of Splinter Twin, but it is true of Twin. All right, Swamp go. No reason to get the Underground Sea down. If we draw a blue spell, we can still play it next turn. And we don't have any cards that cost, like 3-mana cards that cost double blue. Our best draw here is probably just Liliana. Just aggressively attacking their hand. Wouldn't mind a Mox Ruby either. And the worst draw would be Grizzlebrand. We have so far spent 50 or 47 seconds in this match, and our opponent has spent 3 minutes. I'm not sure what they're thinking about here in our upkeep. Hinatoraki, what you got? I would love to just hit their combo. Okay, Island Metamorph. Those are some of the worst hits we could have had, to be honest. I guess Metamorph is decent against Gonti. Runaway Steamkin. Not a card I was expecting to see. Let's play Island Pass. Next turn we can either Chupacabra or Gonti, depending on what they do. Against GT, we want to play Chupacabra. Think we still want to play Chupacabra. Yeah, let's do that. And now we're very, very far ahead. Imperial Recruiter is good against Liliana, but it's still fine. We can just make them sacrifice it. They can get Pestermite here. Getting Seasoned Pyromancer. Interesting. Well, let's attack for 2. Then go... Do I just play Gonti? Or play Liliana Uptick? Yeah, I think I actually like playing Liliana Uptick here. Discarding Memory Deluge. They discard Mox Diamond. Okay, that makes sense. If they equip the GT, that's fine. I don't care about this at all. In fact, I'm actually shocked they went for this. That doesn't do anything here. Bribery, great draw. So now I will make them sacrifice their creature. And then we'll play Bribery and take something from them. Consecrated Sphinx. Could also get... Okay, this is not the best situation. Oh, Goldspan Dragon's actually sort of sweet for us. They have Ancestral Recall. They have 2 Mox and a Mox Diamond. They don't have much in the way of combo. Just the 1 Splinter Twin. Yeah, this should be a very good matchup. They're like a bad aggro deck with a couple random blue cards. And not very good fixing. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's grab the Goldspan. And swing. So they're dead in 2 turns to our attacks. I mean, they can do some stuff with GT, but they're not that close to comboing us. If they draw, okay, they drew Mox, so they can animate the Den of the Bugbear if they want, but that's super underpowered. They play Hellrider, okay, also pretty underpowered. Good draw. So let's attack with both, and then we'll have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 mana. Perfect. So we can play both of our things. Let's start with Gonti in case we draw something that we want to play from them this turn. Okay, I'll take their Zealous Conscripts and then play Consecrated Sphinx. Braid the Gonti in their upkeep. Weird play. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool play, actually. That works out well. I still think we're in good shape, though. We can flashback Memory Deluge or play Zealous Conscript, either one of which should be lethal. I don't know why they're attacking here. They definitely need to leave that back to block. Yeah, what? I mean, it doesn't matter. They're dead either way, but that's a very unnecessary attack. Our life total is extremely high. They're not going to win a game by just, like, cheesing us for a couple points of damage like that. All right, so we sort of dominated them there. I think this should be a very good matchup. It's just, like, they happen to have exactly the twin combo in game one. I think Control Magic is decent. And Worm Coil is decent. What do we not want? Bribery is honestly pretty medium. Bribery for Goldspan Dragon is not... Like, you want to be getting something that costs more than 5 with your Bribery. I like all the removal now that we've seen more of their deck. Memory Deluge is a bit slow, but I think it's still worth it. Shark Typhoon is probably not necessary. I'm not really sure what the last cut should be. GTA, actually, I will cut the GTA. It's good against specifically the Pestermite combo, but it's pretty bad against a lot of the rest of their deck because they have a lot of instant speed burn spells. So we don't want to, like, play GTA, pay 2 to equip it, then they kill the thing in response, and we just wasted 4 mana. And they're not as all in on the combo as I thought. If they were playing Kiki Jiki as well, then that would be one thing. Oof. Well, gotta ship this, unfortunately. An opponent keeps 7. And now we have a terrible hand. I will keep it. I think we put back the Shinobi here. Because we don't have blue mana. And then our hope is... Oh, Library. That's bad. Library completely destroys Liliana of the Veil. They're having a slow draw, but we don't have a very proactive draw either. So I don't think that will matter, unfortunately. I probably don't even use Liliana here. Unless it takes them off of the library plan. But it doesn't. Yeah, okay, we will make them sacrifice that then. That's pretty good for us. But we're way down on resources now, and we don't have a way to close out the game. Brutal. That was probably the worst possible thing they could have played there for us. I don't even know what we could draw here. I think we're just basically drawing dead. We're just so far behind on resources. I guess we'll swift end this. It's possible that we can get them with the Worm Coil thing, but they're just drawing so many cards, so they could probably find their combo, and we don't have ways to interact with that. Chandra, terrible for us. We take 1. Draw yet another basic land. Not even a fancy land, a basic land. I think it's better to get this down than to play Recurring Nightmare. Yeah, this may be the end of our trophy attempt. Oh. Alright, there's the combo. Well, couldn't quite get the trophy then. This was a good league. We destroyed the first 2 rounds and then narrowly lost to a deck that was pretty sketchy. I mean, they had the power level. They had 2 Moxen and Ancestral Recall and Library of Alexandria. I generally don't think that splashing Twin in an aggro deck is great. It just makes your aggro plan and your Twin plan worse, but they were able to draw it in games 1 and 3, so we do fall there. Really sweet league, though, even though we weren't quite able to get the trophy. This deck was a lot of fun. It was very interactive, had a lot of redundancy, good card draw. Or not a lot of redundancy, good card draw. It was missing a few extra reanimation pieces. Possible we should have taken a Shallow Grave or Corpse Dance there. But I think we built this pretty well. And even that last matchup, like, we could have easily beat that deck under other circumstances. We just didn't draw particularly well. Just kept on drawing basic swamps. And And Library of Alexandria is a hell of a card. That card is just so, so good. I can't believe it sometimes wheels now. That really makes no sense to me. But yeah, this was a fun league and a fun deck. I like this sort of deck pretty well. We had good card draw, which is always fun. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.